It's a major blow to the pro-life cause. Vice President Kamala Harris visited an abortion clinic in Minnesota Thursday, a first for any vice president or president for that matter. The stop is meant to signal that the Biden campaign is serious about making Roe v. Wade the law of the land again. Currents News' Jessica Easthope has the story.
During what the Biden-Harris administration is calling the, quote, fight for reproductive freedoms tour, Vice President Kamala Harris made a stop Thursday at a Planned Parenthood center in Minnesota. In 2023, the state's governor signed a bill into law that enshrines the, quote, fundamental right to access abortion in the state.
I'm here at this health care clinic to uplift the work that is happening in Minnesota as an example of what true leadership looks like.
It's believed to be the first visit by a sitting U.S. president or vice president to an abortion provider in history.
It is only right and fair that people have access to the health care they need, and that they have access to health care in an environment where they are treated with dignity and respect.
According to the Center for Applied Research at the Apostolate, or CARA, the Catholic vote represents more than a quarter of the national vote. Catholics believe life is sacred from conception until natural death. Harris began the tour in January in Wisconsin. She has since held pro-abortion events in California, Georgia, Michigan, and Arizona, making the issue a centerpiece of the campaign's messaging in the upcoming election. About half of registered voters in the United States say this year's election will have a, quote, major impact on access to abortion. And about 1 in 8 voters say abortion is the most important issue driving them to the ballot box. Jessica Easthope, Currents News.
Joining us now to talk more about the vice president's visit is the national correspondent for the Tablet and Crux, John Lavenberg. Hi, John.
Hi, Christine.
So, John, a lot of people want to know, what does the church think about this visit? You know, what are Catholics saying? What are the bishops saying?
Yeah, so I actually got a statement from Bishop Michael Burbidge, the U.S. Bishop's pro-life chair, earlier today. And regarding the vice president's visit, he said he is distressed about it, that she would take this visit to an abortion clinic, and encouraged her instead. She said she should have visited a pro-life clinic to see all the services they do to help life in their work.
And we also have a statement from the Minnesota Catholic Conference. Here's what they said. Vice President Harris is here to celebrate that Minnesota is one of the most permissive places for abortion anywhere in the world. This open access to abortion without protections undermines the goal of fostering an inclusive society and is out of touch with the views of most Minnesotans on the issues. What do you think about that?
Well, what they're speaking to is a legislation Governor Tim Walz signed last year that really was sweeping abortion legislation in the state of Minnesota. And that statement really echoed what the Minnesota bishop said at the time. I mean, this legislation enshrined abortion in the state as a constitutional right. It left virtually no restrictions on abortion throughout a pregnancy, and it made Minnesota a safe haven for people seeking an abortion from out of the state and providers as well. So that statement really just echoes what the bishop said last year when this legislation was passed.
All right, and Kamala Harris has kind of been leading the White House's efforts for this so-called fight for reproductive rights. But, you know, the president has spoken about it, too. Let's listen to what he had to say during the State of the Union address.
If you, the American people, send me a Congress that supports the right to choose, I promise you I'll restore Roe v. Wade as the law of the land again.
So how likely do you think it is that we'll see Roe v. Wade restored?
I mean, if Congress stays the way it currently is right now, unlikely, because the margins are so slim between the House and the Senate that will not happen soon. So we'll have to see what happens in the November elections for that to change.
All right, John Lavenberg, national correspondent for the Tablet and Crux. Thanks so much for being here.
Thank you, Christine.
Be sure to tune into Currents News and the Tablet for continuing coverage of the pro-life fight. Hi, I'm Christine Persichetti, anchor of Currents News. If you like what you saw, please hit the like button on this video. And if you want to see more content just like it, subscribe and click on the bell for notifications. Thanks for watching, because we are putting your faith in the news.